And he must understand something, that is the difference between being a subject and a citizen. It is in this period that we became confused between the two. Up until the end of the 19th century, we knew we were not citizens in the United States, no matter what the paper said. We knew we were subjects. And because we knew we were subjects, we had our fighting spirit intact. And this was an international thing, not something applicable to the blacks in the United States. But those in the Caribbean were doing the same thing, understanding the fakery of their emancipation. We begin to understand the fakery of our emancipation. And the Africans had already understood the fakery of the change between chattel slavery and colonialism, a more sophisticated form of slavery. Now, in a book called The Betrayal of the Negro, Rayford Logan has a chapter called The Nadir, or the lowest period. Now, the preface to the Booker T. Washington era is the nadir, the lowest spiritual period, the lowest economic period in our history in this country. All right, 1874, 1875, we had been betrayed. The Southern troops, the federal troops had been withdrawn from the South, permitting the rise of the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of the White Camellia, and all other racist organizations. Both the North and the South had betrayed us in favor of a vote for Tilton B. Hayes, the new president. Many of the safeguards had been withdrawn, and no one wanted to talk about the promise of the 40 acres and the mule. No one wanted to talk about this anymore. Now, had we gotten the 40 acres and the mule, and had we not lost feeling for the land, we would be the feeders of America today, because this came at a time before the immigrant migration. It came at a time when whites did not want to farm. And had we mastered the land, we could have controlled what this nation ate. And we would have been moderately wealthy doing so, because that means we will be controlling some other thing. All right.
Your mother may be Norwegian. You pass me over to say good night, feeling you already white. Your skin may be a little pink, and that's the reason why you think that the complexion of your face can hide you from the Negro race. No, you can never get away from the fact, if you're not white, you considered black.
Absolutely.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny.
Yep. Go ahead outside, sir. Come with us. Okay.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on, my brother Black Megas? You know what I'm saying? And I had to play that good old Mitch McConnell anytime somebody say something. That's how I responded. He was like, "Oh, if you're not white, then you got to be black." You know what I'm saying? That's just how. Yeah, he was offline for a second. Well, that's my face I get when people say something confusing. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to put it up there. But look, I'm trying not to be long on here today. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you, like most of the stuff I got that I like, this is stuff that I had for a long time and I like wanted to show, but I had to clean up my stuff, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that I had room for like important stuff, And so most of the stuff is just stuff that I wanted to show y'all before. What's going on, Raw? So y'all bear with me. Like I said, I'm gonna try to be quick, you know what I'm saying, or go through it and not be long on here today. So I'm gonna just, you know what I'm saying. Now, like I said, most of this stuff is from earlier, but I wanted to play this right because they got a result in that black people are the most racist. You know what I'm saying? I wish, but I don't know.
Y'all, so this white woman on Twitter made a poll asking who the most racist group of people is. And the options were white people, black people, Asians, and Hispanics, right? And mind you, this poll had almost 100,000 votes. It was like 91,000 something votes, right? And black people won by a landslide. Literally, black people had like 52 or 56% or something. White people had like 26. Hispanics had like 17. And then Asians, I think Asians had like 17 and Hispanics had the rest, something like that, right? But the point is, black people had over half of the votes, right? When I see something like this, I'm not even joking. I don't know what this woman is. She may be a white American, she may be a European. I don't know what she is, right? But then also, this is not just something that happens in America. This is like a worldwide phenomenon, right? Because I'm not going to hold y'all. The devil works hard, but white people work harder. And like I said, first of all, let's begin talking about America. Let's pretend that this is a white American woman and all of the votes were from, people in America, whether they were white, Hispanic, or Asian, or whatever, right? I've mentioned before that I think it is like insane that white people have managed to paint this narrative of black people being violent despite the history between our two groups. Let's start off with how we got to America. White people literally went.
All right. So, she go on for a minute explaining it, you know what I'm saying? But, we can see it. And so, like I said, a lot of this stuff is just stuff that I wanted to bring up before I like deleted it forever. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that we talk about, like with the quote unquote healthcare and all of that stuff, how, you know what I'm saying, sick it really gets, you know what I'm saying?
So we don't have universal health care because of anti-black racism?
So which led him to his second hypothesis, which was in his book, Race Traits.
No, you got to get a white dude to tell you.
If white people who control the politics and most of the economy of the United States simply deny health care to black people, the black race, again his phrase, would die out in 2 or 3 generations. And that would, quote, solve the race problem in America. Frederick Hoffman took this theory, pitched it to Congress, gave lectures all across the United States to state legislatures, met with governors, to physicians groups. He was beloved by those establishments. By the way, he was the co-founder.
All right, so speaking about who's the most, I mean, we already know, but this is just a little bit of history.
Physicians groups. He was beloved by those establishments. By the way, he was the co-founder of the American Lung Association. I mean, the guy was no slouch. He was powerful. He was famous, and people took him seriously. Woodrow Wilson. And this is why in 1912, when Teddy Roosevelt proposed a single-payer healthcare system to cover everybody as part of his Square Deal plan when he was running for president for re-election, this was why that got shot down. because white people, including the medical establishment, white people by and large said, particularly the white racists in the South, said, wait a minute, if you cover everybody with health insurance, you're going to be covering black people too, and we can't have that. So that ended that discussion in 1912. It's also why they came after Franklin Roosevelt in 1936 when he proposed a single-payer system. It's why they came after Harry Truman in 1947 when he proposed a single-payer healthcare system. But black people, we can't do that. Black people will get that healthcare. And this is why they came after John Kennedy in 1961 when he proposed a single-payer healthcare system. And it's why when Lyndon Johnson and Robert Ball were writing the Medicare law in 1965, the Southern racist conservative senators came to them and said, you need to build into this thing a bar high enough that poor black people in the South, and 60% of black people live in the South right now. It was even a higher proportion back then in the 1960s. So the poor black people in the South won't be able to jump over that bar and show up in our all-white hospitals. So they took Medicare Part B, which is the part that pays for hospitalization, and said, we're only going to pay for 80% of the hospitalization. There'll be a 20% gap, which is the gap that you fill in with your Medigap policy now. That gap was to prevent black people from presenting themselves in hospitals unless it was just an absolute screaming life-ending emergency. So from the beginning through the 1960s, the reason why the United States never acknowledged healthcare as a right rather than a privilege was because of Hoffman's theories and white racism. I mean, they.
All right. What's going on, Cassandra? And yeah, like I said, I just wanted to show some of the stuff that I had before I got rid of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. And then we go there, and this is the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Then we go to their establishments, and they are there to get us on their drugs, to have us sick. You know what I'm saying? And then already the diets that we eat lead to like poor health, you know what I'm saying? But then when you go to the hospitals, you know that, you like from birth to whatever it is, the treatment that you get, you know what I'm saying? And consider, I just wanted to show you this, because they had a poll like who's the most racist. It was like black people, is the most by a landslide, right? You know what I'm saying? And white people is second, right? And then Asian people. And then last is Hispanic people. But we already know the deal with that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But even here, they was like Hispanic people is 3%. Now, I wish that, what I'm saying, that black people was as racist as they think that we are and as violent as they say that we are. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we do with them, or they are definitely the most racist. As for our demise, why don't we understand that? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want you to understand, And speaking of this 3% Hispanic, this is one I wanted to play a while ago, right? Y'all remember when the Hispanic girl, two Hispanic women jumped the little sister, right? So now this one is where this Hispanic girl, school bus aide, let this little girl in a wheelchair, die. And they released her from they arrested her, but then they released her.
Monitor charged in the death of a 6-year-old in a wheelchair has now been released from custody.
Oh yeah, I showed the firefighter John and the other one that you had sent me too about I ain't see nothing about that trial either, but that was supposed to be going on like last week though. But yeah, I showed the dude with the firefighters like a couple weeks ago, or not a couple weeks ago, but like last week sometime, or a couple ones ago. I don't remember. But this is like one of the jumps I meant to play back then, and this is just crazy how many of the situations
school bus
it is.
Monitor charged in the death of a 6-year-old in a wheelchair has now been released from custody. Fahahatia Will Williams died after the harness that secured her wheelchair got wrapped around her neck. And investigators say the woman hired to protect her was too busy using her cell phone to notice. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Johnson joining us from Somerset County's courthouse in Somerville with more. Anthony.
Yeah, let me just explain this. The reason that the bus monitor will be released from prison has a lot to do with bail reform here in the state of New Jersey. She has no criminal record. Her attorney says she's very remorseful for the incident, and he says that she will abide by all the rules of her release. Amanda Devilla came to court in her prison jumpsuit, but will be free to go home after she is processed at the jail. She's accused of negligence and charged with manslaughter in connection with the death of 6-year-old Fajar Atiya Williams. Devilla was the school bus monitor who was seen on video wearing headphones and on her phone as the 6-year-old got caught in a 4-pronged seat harness and could not breathe. The child, who was nonverbal, struggled in the wheelchair and became unresponsive and died. Her parents sat in court listening to the 43-minute-long detention hearing.
So consider and she was sitting there on her phone listening to whatever, you know what I'm saying? And the little girl sat there for 15 minutes before anybody even checked on her or looked or anything, you know what I'm saying? And by then, you know, it was already too late, you know, and this is her family in court, you know what I'm saying, as they released her.
Her parents sat in court listening to the 43-minute-long detention hearing.
I don't know how to feel about her release. I was prepared for her release. I thought I was. But as long as they are following the law, I don't have any choice but to accept it.
The state argued that Devilla would be a flight risk because she faces serious jail time and poses a threat to children. But her lawyer claimed in court that she has never been in trouble with the law and was raised in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and is the mother of a 2-year-old with special needs.
She's supposed to be the mom of special needs, you know, like, yeah, exactly. But, you know, they releasing her.
With special needs. She has worked at the bus company for 7 years and never had a problem. Under bail reform laws, the state has to prove that she would be a...
Oh, yeah, there goes those police and all those reform laws that's supposed to be aimed at black people since we are criminals and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there goes some of your reform and bail overpopulated prison reform. There it is. It's working for your people of color.
Under bail reform laws, the state has to prove that she would be a danger to the community. The judge said under current guidelines, Devilla would be released. Her attorney says he's not surprised, despite
the making noises and all that stuff, like, you know,
painful nature of this case.
She's 27 years old. She graduated from New Brunswick High School, born and raised there. Never been in a fight before, never had any problems. So it's such a tragedy, such a tragedy.
It's such a tragedy.
Yeah, Devilla will be released probably later.
And then her mom said, some more stuff. Yeah, she was not paying. She was sitting up front on her phone the whole time, you know what I'm saying? So she wasn't even paying attention. So, you know.
Sad facial expression.
It was like, and people like, you know, she was sitting in court like, you know, it is what it is, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Wearing handcuffs and a pensive, sad facial expression, 27-year-old school bus monitor Amanda Devilla appeared in court for the first time for a detention hearing, charged with second-degree manslaughter in connection with the death of 6-year-old Fajar Williams.
Fajar meant the world to me. She was my baby. She was my light.
A GoFundMe organized by Fajar's mother, Najma Nash, has raised nearly $12,000 for her final expenses. While prosecutors argued that she's a flight risk, the judge ordered Devilla's release from pretrial detention. The judge cited bail reform.
It's the judge here, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The judge cited bail reform efforts and Devilla's clean criminal record. Nash, who appeared stoic and strong, says she has nothing to say to Devilla.
No, I would not want to say anything because it would be distasteful.
The nonverbal girl with special needs died after prosecutors say she was choked by her 4-point harness that strapped her into her wheelchair in the back of a Montauk Transit school bus last Monday in Franklin Township. They say a few bumps in the road caused Williams to slump in her wheelchair, causing the harness to block her airway. All the while, they say
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna even be a judge and, like, you know what I'm saying, take over their courtrooms and stuff like that, like, you can't even make sure that this Hispanic chick stays in jail. You know what I'm saying? This person of color stays in jail, you know what I'm saying, for child neglect. You know, that's supposed to be her job, you know what I'm saying? We all know the deal, you know what I'm saying? But they like, oh well, it's only 3% of them, according to them. But you know, you gotta understand, but
Davila
that's how it
didn't
goes.
see it because she was in the front of the bus on her phone with headphones in. Prosecutors say onboard video shows 14 minutes went by and nobody on board noticed.
Being there was harder than I expected.
It's such a tragedy. Such a tragedy.
Davila's attorney, Michael Policastro, says Davila is a mother herself to a 2-year-old with special needs and has worked at the company for the last 7 years with no issues.
To say someone's on their cell phone doesn't mean she was actually listening or had music on or anything like that.
Just because she was on her phone with headphones in and stuff playing on her phone not paying attention doesn't mean she wasn't not paying attention.
Davila faces 5 to 10 years if convicted. Davila's released.
And you know, this is the thing, you know, Cassandra, you know, and this is why it's important, because even when that happens, you know what I'm saying, like, it just puts the next one who does care at risk, you know what I'm saying?
Any other family. A grieving mother is tonight demanding accountability from the Franklin Township School Board, and other parents of special needs children here are paying close attention.
It breaks all of our hearts because we know that could have been our child.
A week ago.
And, you know, that's the thing here, you know what I'm saying? It could have been anyone's child who's in that, especially a special needs person who's in that situation, and you may not be able to do it because you got to go to work and all this other stuff. And, you know, that's one of the problems, because it could have been any one of their children, you know what I'm saying? They're just lucky, or, you know, as far as them, you know what I'm saying, they're lucky it wasn't their children, you know what I'm saying? But it could be any one of our children at any time.
Of our hearts because we know that could have been our child.
A week ago, 6-year-old Fajar Atia Williams died on a school bus when the monitor responsible for her safety failed to notice that the little girl was suffocating when her harness got wrapped around her neck. Amanda Davila was allegedly looking at her phone with her headphones on for a crucial 14 minutes. She's charged with second-degree manslaughter.
I want answers. How are you choosing these transportation providers?
Najma Nash says she also...
You know, if a black person like took some gum, they'd be like, no, this is a problem. We have super predators all over, you know, and I see young thugs in my courtroom all the time, you know, and I know this is your first offense, but we need to make sure you learn your lesson, because you need to know that, you know what I'm saying? And with them, it's like, yo, can I please? I'm surprised he didn't be like, please, can I give her a hug, please? And you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, if the courts are important, you know what I'm saying, like, you really gonna have to take them, you know what I'm saying, or not let however you gotta dictate to get in there, you know what I'm saying? It's like the dude said in the movie one time, he was like, he was the black police chief for the LAPD. I think it was the movie Crash. He was like, man, you know how much BS I had to do, how much you know, tap dancing you got to do to be a captain of the LAPD as a black man. You can't even release a jury with the all white jury, you know what I'm saying, for a black defendant, or without being called racist and charged for it. Yeah, they're afraid, you know what I'm saying?
Wants to know how much training and guidance those employees get, and that the school district needs to do its own investigation.
She was a beautiful little girl, so I'm so incredibly sorry, and I know that we all are.
When you're ready, please connect with us.
Tonight, each board member offered support.
I'm hopeful. As they said, I will reach out to them directly and see if they are willing to make a change.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe. All right, now this is another one I wanted to play, and this is like, yo, for sisters and stuff like that, because I know a lot of sisters probably go through stuff like this when you minding your own business, you know what I'm saying?
work with. So there's never a time or a place that you're going to know what happened to me at work today. But before I tell y'all, I have a question. What is it about an introverted Black woman in the workplace that disturbs y'all so much?
Yo, what up, highly favored? And y'all let me know what y'all think. And you know.
When I say y'all, I mean some of y'all white people. Now I said some, not all. So if it don't apply, let it fly. And if you feel like being slick, go and leave a comment because I have time today. I understand that Black women, we have a stereotype and a narrative about ourselves in the workplace that we're very loud. We gossip. We like to be in people's business. I get that. But that does not pertain to everybody, and it doesn't pertain to me. I learned my lesson a long time ago. I don't fraternize with people that I work with. So there's never a time or a place that you're going to hear me say, hey, let's hang out. Let's be friends. Let's exchange numbers. I don't care about your grandkids, your kids, what you had got going this weekend, what you throwing on that grill. That's not my business. And I have no plans on sharing my life with you. I'm just going to be honest. It's hello, goodbye, good afternoon. I'm probably not even going to ask you how you're doing because that's not my business. But anyway, my manager approached me today. She said, Jamise, can I talk to you for a minute? Yeah, what's up? Well, some of your coworkers seem to think that you're a racist because you're not friendly to them at work and you don't talk to them at work. My only response was, okay, because I don't give a the first thing y'all gonna do, y'all gonna use that white privilege. Y'all use y'all white privilege the minute that y'all had a chance to, because I don't want to be y'all friend. Black women can't win for losing. Even when we quiet, we still bothering y'all. And y'all wonder why we don't deal with y'all in the workplace? It's the way you act. It's the way you act. Leave us the hell alone. Go to work, do your job, go home. All right? Don't worry about why nobody want to be your friend, Becky. We don't have anything in common. And even if we did, I don't trust y'all. And that's exactly why. Go and get up out my face. I'm sick of y'all. We can't win. Black women cannot win. I don't even know what to say.
You know what? All right, so I don't know what y'all think about that. Yeah, written up multiple times for not being friendly. Yeah, I don't be talking to, I ain't the type to be doing all that. It's already bad enough, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll even be like, oh, well, you ain't being, he ain't smiling in my face like he should. He ain't tap dancing like he should or she should. He said she should have responded by saying her ethnicity is not in a position to be racist. Yeah. But then they, you know what I'm saying? You know how it goes, because you in somebody else's atmosphere and all that stuff. And yeah, ain't nobody going to be looking up in their face, smiling, trying to be friendly. And, they do get mad about that stuff. They catch feelings and all that. So, this is another one that I was gonna show before, but we started talking about everybody got like commercials on their stuff. But this was another one I was gonna show before, but we started talking about something else. Let me see.
Can walk out of a store how I choose now. Anywhere, I'm a grown woman. I can walk out of a store how I choose now. You're not going to tell me how I can walk.
Hey, can you come to guest service?
Okay, that's fine. I'll speak with whoever I need to. You can give it to me since you're not going to do this, and I'll speak to whoever comes. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to speak to whoever. Okay, and I'll speak to.
And I'm the manager on duty for the store. You're recording me. That's illegal.
Okay. So now you're refusing to give me my stuff that you just said you're not going to do. It's not illegal. This is a freedom of speech. I am able to record. What makes that a fake receipt? How can you state that this is a fake receipt and my card that I used to pay for this item? I have the card, and this also shows the card that I used to pay for the item right here in the last 4 digits, which I can show you is also on my phone. So she's being prejudiced against me. She just told you that I came in here with a fake receipt. Can you ask her what makes this a fake receipt? I'm sorry.
No, hey. Now, I would say this, right? They don't like what you don't tell when you don't tell all your business. That's what the problem is. Yeah. Because they want to know everything that you're doing. They want to be able to pet you, grab your head. I know for women, a lot of women talk about like they try to be like, oh, can I touch your hair and all that stuff? Like all that crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a deprived culture. But even in these situations, you know what I'm saying? One thing that I want to say, because like it is pretty easy for a company like Target, you know what I'm saying? Like for you to not, because do you understand like what you do with your dollars and all of that stuff is important. So like that's a way that we can use these like platforms so we can understand like, oh yeah, well, we understand. Well, I know I had a story even when I was young. I ain't know no better. I'm in Target in high school, just being able to drive, and they accused us of stealing. And you know what I'm saying, like we ain't have nothing. And even when they tried to do it, like that's why we never got in trouble. But they put us in the back, and they was watching the black people from the parking lot. You know what I'm saying, like strictly the black people. You know what I'm saying. So I already know. But that's the point, you know what I'm saying? We up in like Target is like super kind of, if what you want to say, racist place, you know. Now this was another one from a while ago, where this white dude tried to beat up this black woman, you know. So this was from a little minute ago.
Hey everyone, it's your girl.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna have something like that on here. But yeah, and that's, you know, that's what they do, especially in those type of environments, because you know what I'm saying, they feel like they have power and stuff like that.
This 300-pound white man beat this 110-pound young black woman half to death because her dog ran into his backyard. I'm gonna roll the clip.
Pound white man, her neighbor, after her dog ran into his backyard.
On June 20th, I was beaten pretty badly by my neighbor. Gigi took off, and I saw her running after.
No, this was like this was a minute ago, you know what I'm saying, a long time ago. But no, we didn't have anything. That's why we didn't get in trouble. We wasn't doing nothing, you know. I guess because we was like looking too hard. We was in there wasting time, I guess, you know what I'm saying. But, you know.
A stray cat or some kind of bunny rabbit and in the direction of the attacker, which is right beside Tony's house. His name's Shelly, and went into his backyard. And I stayed on Tony's property, and I called over Gigi, and she came back within like 10 seconds, and she knew she was in trouble, and I still had to discipline her. So I took her to my backyard, and then that's when from like the side, I can hear somebody, you know, yelling out, "Hey, you, buddy, you know, pal, I'm talking to you, you know, punk," using those kind of terms. And I've never spoke to Shelly before.
What was he saying?
So he's referring to past events, and I've never been in his backyard before. And I told him to coach me like that. And as soon as I said that, I just remember getting punched in the face, my eyes. He smashed my head on the concrete and kept going down.
Can you describe to me, what does this neighbor Shelly look like?
It's like a scooter that's mainly for elderly people. But he looks like he's about 300 pounds. He's of my eyebrow. It's gone. But I would say it was about plus 30 punches.
Did anybody call the police?
My friend called the police. My friend came. When she came, she told me that I was unresponsive, and she.
Right, so they said she's saying that they called the police, and the police spokesperson is saying like, oh yeah, they were just busy at the time, so they couldn't come out there. Pretty much, you know. I guess they were saying it wasn't an emergency, so they wasn't going to go out there to like help her. Pretty much is what they're saying. Yeah, I know. But we argue too much with them, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't understand who and what they are, you know what I'm saying? Now, y'all gonna have to oh yeah. So, you know, I was talking about the biracial thing before, right? And it's not the key, because it was a lot of other stuff that I could have played, but this one I think was important because especially with a lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying? So like listen to this biracial woman talking to her white mother, right? And she's like, yo, stop saying the N-word and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because contrary to belief, you know what I'm saying, like doing it to a white girl is not going to stop making her being the, you know what I'm saying, thing that she is. You know what I'm saying?
You're white and you say the N-word. I'm just telling you not to say it. That's it.
Well, I'm not gonna have my child tell me what I can and can't do. Sorry, it don't work that way in my life. No, I was raised.
Yeah, that's the thing. You were raised differently. This is a new generation. I'm just saying you can't say that.
I'm telling you, you can't live here. So how about that? So you tell me I can't say something.
You're
I say you can't live here.
You're being over dramatic.
No, I'm tired of being disrespected by you.
I'm not disrespecting you by telling you as a mixed person, telling a white person you can't say that.
That lets me know you don't have any fucking love for me, Asia, or you wouldn't feel that way about me saying that.
What?
You wouldn't feel that way at all.
I don't have any love for you because I don't want my white mother to say the N-word.
You are picking me out. You are racial profiling against me, white. That white person can't say that.
No white person can say it, not just fucking you.
Just tell your dad that you're moving in.
No.
Yeah, or then you need to find somewhere to go. So I don't want you here.
I'm being kicked out because.
Wow.
Yep. I'm racist. Tell them that.
You said a racial slur. No matter if you said it with an A or an ER, racial slur. So that's it. I mean, kicked out.
You're an adult. You can find your own place. You got a job.
Mm-mm-mm.
Do you still think you're blacker than me?
I'll always be blacker than you.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll say it one more time. I'm sorry, y'all.
Do you still think you're blacker than me?
I'll always be blacker than you.
Really?
Yeah. You were the whitest black person I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, damn. So listen, I don't know what but it's like a fetish thing, bro. Like I don't know that why we don't understand it or why we don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even. That's why I kept saying it's not their fault. But they also don't have to have only smoke for us either, because this is the mentality. Like the other parent oftentimes sees that stuff as a fetish, but we just get so lost and caught up with all the other stuff, right? Now, listen, this last part, y'all gonna have to forgive me, all right? You know, because I wanted to show you. And I don't know if Raw's still here, but you know, I know Raw probably get tired of it. You know, maybe highly favorite and considerate, but you know, like I said, I wanted to show this a long time ago, and I never did. But I was like, forget it. I might as well show it now, right? So check this out, all right?
Explain to me what's wrong with white pride.
Almost got away with it that time. Yeah, that's what happened when you don't have your candy bar. Yeah, with the sister, when you walking your dog and stuff like that. Because it could go down at any time. You never know. Yeah, we always entertain them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all right. So my bad, y'all. Let me play this.
Explain to me what's wrong with white pride, because I'm so proud to be white. Like, I am a white queen. I am a goddess. Look at these freckles. Look at this complexion. I'm loving it. I'm not hating anyone else because they're not white. I love your pigment too. But I'm proud of mine. I'm proud.
The sun like making her break out on her face and everything right now.
Out of the white people. And something's wrong with that. But nothing's wrong with being proud if you're black. And you can be proud of your ancestors. You can say, I love black people. You can say black people are the best. You can say, I hate white people. And it's okay. But to have white pride, to display white pride on social media in today's world, you can't. So explain to me what's wrong with white pride.
All right, so yeah, she got white pride. That's the thing. They imitate black women all the time. That it go back to like with that little sister thing. It's just like a jealousy, envies thing that go back hundreds of years. It's just like an enemy thing. It's just like what, you know what I'm saying, like cats and dogs, like not to say cats and dogs, but this is just like a natural enemy. You know what I'm saying? They do that. She could be proud to be non-human. You know what I'm saying? It sounds corny, exactly, you know. That's why she's breaking out from the sun now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she could be proud to be non-human. And so she was like, yeah, what's wrong with having white pride? You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing is wrong with it. I want to show you some white pride here. You know what I'm saying? This is white culture, you know?
So I actually don't wipe my bum. When you think about it, in nature, no other animal wipes after they use the restroom. So why do we do that? And I know there's got to be a benefit to not wiping. I don't really know what it is, but if God wanted us to wipe after we use the restroom, we would have a built-in.
Now, some people think this is fake, but it's like so many of these things. You know what I'm saying? This is just one of them. I didn't play a lot of them. It's disgusting, and it's not even like new. It's like centuries old. Like they wrote about it in like the 1400s and stuff. You know what I'm saying? What up, RBG? This is white pride. You know what I'm saying? She's proud to be non-human. You know. Neanderthal pride. They could be proud to be that, you know. This is their culture.
Way to do that into our anatomy, you know what I mean? So because we don't, I personally believe that wiping after using the restroom is not good for your health. You don't know what chemicals are in toilet paper or in wipes. So I personally think it's best to just not wipe. But I stopped wiping about 2 years ago when I started.
Brothers, you better think about that. Would you know what I'm saying? You ready to go get your biracial child? You know what I'm saying? That get kicked out for saying the N-word. I'm just saying, think about it.
Using the litter box instead of a toilet, and I have stopped wiping about 2 years ago when I started using the litter box instead of a toilet, and I have noticed like I have not gotten as sick as often. Now I know correlation is not causation, but you know, I feel like my immunity.
It might be true. They might do have to use the kitty litter and stuff. Yeah, we all human. Yeah, exactly. Human is a race. It's only one race, the human race. Well, human is a species, like, you know what I'm saying? That's why they leave out the species part, you know what I'm saying? And it makes a difference when it comes to like the health. Like we was just talking about the healthcare, how they even do it, but we need different medicines. So like it's different, it affects you in different ways, but it's always important, you know what I'm saying? Just like it's important to have your own quote unquote propaganda. It's the truth, you know what I'm saying? But you're supposed to do this, you know what I'm saying? But
Causation, but you know, I feel like my immune system has like been built up since I stopped wiping. And it's probably because I'm not exposing myself to those chemicals.
I don't necessarily know.
Oh man. And so yeah, hold on. Because she was getting backlash, so she had to, I guess people were saying it was fake and whatnot, you know. But there was the black woman that was messing with her, she did some kind of appointment. A black woman came on here and was like, yeah, I wasn't even trying to put you on there, but yeah, a human, what's the word? Replica. I don't want to say replica. I'll forget the word, but yeah, human like resembles a human.
That's a built-in way to do that. How? And
yeah, facts, you know. You can't that's why you can't do that with a white parent, you know what I'm saying? It's a black man and black woman thing, you know.
Way to do that. How? And my esthetician came on here and she's saying that she's no longer going to give me my Brazilian wax because I don't wipe my bum, because last time I went in, she requested that I wipe, and I did, per her request, and I used all the wipes that she had in her building.
Why?
Because it had been like several months of just buildup down there, and now she's saying that she's not going to take me as a client anymore.
Yo, she said like several months of buildup, and even if you think that, like, they was literally having the dark plague into like, and trying to assimilate into that culture is just gonna make you sick. You understand? Like two different, you know what I'm saying, humans, right? Can't coexist, you know, and it doesn't work that well, you know what I'm saying? Because it's different habits, you know what I'm saying? It's different. That's why different things affect you. I don't know. Maybe they're supposed to do that. I don't know.
You can't take my future appointments.
You're passing out.
And I'm just like, this feels like discrimination.
You're nasty.
Because it's almost like against my religion to wipe, and I already broke.
It's against the Greek culture. It's against their Greek religion to clean their hand pots.
Just like, this feels like discrimination.
You're nasty.
Because it's almost like against my religion to wipe, and I already broke that just going in for her request. But now she's saying that she doesn't want to have me as a client anymore, and I feel disrespected. And it's just really sad because I've been a client of hers.
Technically, she wasn't prejudiced because she did not prejudge. She judged afterwards.
For years, and I just now started this not wiping like a few months ago, and it just makes me feel like I'm closer to the Lord.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I gotta talk about this one. You remember the lady who doesn't wipe? Apparently she got exposed by a Brazilian waxer, man. I gotta see what the hell she saw, for real.
Now this dude kept talking.
Disgusted. Yeah, let's see what the hell she saw, because I gotta know.
This dude kept talking, but I want to play the sister who supposedly did this.
For your wax appointment, Brazilian wax specifically.
In Brazilian, they take
We
everything
asked
off,
you
for
to
real.
use wipes.
What she
You
said?
began to cleanse everything. You filled our garbage can. You used all of our wipes.
Using all the wipes is
There was
crazy.
a lot of residue left.
I ain't surprised.
I didn't want to quite put your business out there, but since you're out here in the internet land, talking
land.
about the fact that you don't wipe after you use the restroom,
Like she proud, isn't that
left
weird?
evidence
Evidence?
while we were waxing on the strips, on the sticks, on the treatment table.
Ew.
And we were unable to use the treatment room.
Then they had to close shop?
Unfortunately, this is going to have to be the way that we
Not unfortunate. Fortunately, we.
All right, so yeah, dude, but but she pretty much was saying like she was leaving that stuff everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, let me show. Yo, check this out. Right, it's another one from a long time ago.
Everybody look at this. Fresh ass jit. Fresh motherfucker. Trendsetter. Real jit. Look at how fine this shit is, boy. The Twister. That shit is heat. Look at that. Mine fresh as fuck. Real ass jit. Take your bitch, boy.
Oh man, damn, RBG, don't let this white boy near your girl, son. All right, so yeah, I've showed this before, but I'm gonna show it again because this is baby Becky. This is their culture that I be talking about. That you wonder where that stuff comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would say this, right? Because you heard what the shyster said. Like, yeah, they come after our babies, you know, like the young, the young sister who was, you know what I'm saying, in a wheelchair and disabled. And what did the shyster say when they was like, oh, they killing our babies, so it's only right that we do what? That's all I'm saying, right?
Wants Snickers. Nobody fucking wants
No
Snickers.
one wants
Nobody-
Snickers.
nobody
I'm sorry, you are so fucking dark that you can't fucking. You're so hot.
But you
all the
can't
time.
get anybody.
You're not. You're no.
Right, you
You're
want to
so.
fucking ruin some Nintendo's life because of it.
You can fucking rot in hell. You fucking made them leave. You dark ass nigger. Dark ass chocolate bar. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm sorry, you fucking can't get anybody because nobody likes niggers. Literally
No
nobody
one likes
it.
niggers.
Nobody likes them.
No one likes them. Fucking kill yourself right this time. Do it fucking right. Cut deep enough. Cut deep enough this time. Or fucking tie the rope higher. Like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Fuck yourself. Fucking kill yourself. You made fucking Kendall and Summer leave. Fucking kill yourself.
Oh man. So
Like, what the fuck?
you know, this is you know, the baby ones in training, you feel me? And telling this young sister to kill herself, you know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is, you know, these is the same ones that got the power to infiltrate anything and has brought civilizations down crumbling, you know what I'm saying? But this is that, you know what I'm saying, that white pride that other, you know what I'm saying, white chick was talking about. I guess these ones ain't important, right? This girl, y'all could tell by the time of year it is about what kind of stuff that's going on. Yeah, she said she don't wipe herself, period. Oh, and I'm pretty sure she definitely don't wash her legs or take showers like that. Yeah, exactly. The same ones, you know what I'm saying? And the same 6'5", 280 brother be breaking down to her, you know what I'm saying, and crying, you know, but whatever. But I guess I ain't really got to show this, right? Because this white bitch here talking about, oh, I'm sorry and all this other stuff because she dressed up like
that way.
quote unquote Snoop
I was
Dogg.
naive, ignorant, unaware, and completely own that in every way. I want to sincerely apologize to anyone I hurt or offended, to the city of Hick.
Right, so I get the point, right? Because it goes on and on, right? So
in Cartersville, what do that look like to you? People in the neighborhood so mad they took it down, and the person who did this put it back up and stood 10 toes on this for Halloween, and don't like it.
Raw, pick a time and date on the clock, and then be ready.
Family's Halloween decorations are causing controversy. Controversy in Cartersville. They have a body with brown hands hanging from a tree with a noose around its neck, and some people say it's too much. They say it looks like someone who's black, and they want this to come down. It's on Cassville Road, a busy street in Bartow County. Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez live there with a look at this display. Ty?
Well, Justin, it seems like everyone here in Cartersville has seen the man hanging from the tree, and they're saying it's creepy. And you know what? When I look at that animal skull, it is quite creepy. But when you look at the hands, they do have brown gloves, and that is what is upsetting many people. The family says they can keep it up. They have First Amendment rights. But one neighbor got so mad, she yanked it down herself. Every year, we've always decorated together as a family. Decorating for Halloween is something this Cartersville family on Cassville Road.
I'm telling you, they live to piss you off, you know what I'm saying? And one way to really piss them off is to let them know how little that you care about what they think, say, do, feel, because they shouldn't even be here in the first place. They words, none of that stuff can affect you in no way. That was irritating. That's, you know what, the trolls try to come in here and all that other stuff. Like, they get their rocks off or getting blocked and people getting mad. But when you ignore them and everything that they're saying, you know what I'm saying, that's what makes them the most mad, and they just go away because, you know what I'm saying, they are unimportant. It doesn't really matter. You feel me? But we get so amped up and emotional and pissed off about the same thing every year. Like, they take pride in pissing you off. That's why, like, at the job, when the sister was minding her own damn business, they are what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see their culture and the white pride that they have. You know what I'm saying? This is just what they do. And stop giving them the energy. They live off of your energy. Like, they are vampires. You know what I'm saying? Like, they burn in the sun, literally. You know what I'm saying? They need you for everything. You know what I'm saying? Stop giving them the energy or the time of the day. Yo, what up, my brother Anthony? She look closer to our God, you know what I'm saying? Our God of uncleanliness, you know.
has a lot of fun with. This year, they decided to hang a body from a tree. The kids who live here love it.
Oh, they love Halloween. They're both excited about Mr. Creepy in the tree.
But the president of the Bartow chapter of the NAACP sees this differently.
This was really crossing the line. It was offensive. It really just signified and insinuated that it was a person, and it was a person of color. And Bartow County has a history
Not a person of color, Negro, right?
of hangings here in this county. And to do that is just not appropriate.
A neighbor thought the same thing, especially because the hands look brown because the gloves are brown. According to the homeowner, that neighbor came over and took down the decoration herself.
She said because the thing underneath the mask is black and her shirt is black.
Yeah.
So she was thinking that it's a black person.
Right.
And it's not. That's just
I know
the
it
spare
is.
clothes that my husband had that he was going to throw away
Whatever.
anyway. That's why I just picked those. No other reason other than that. And the gloves are.
It's called gaslighting. Like, that's why I used to say all the time, psychopaths. There's no reasoning with the psychopath. You can't have children with them. You can't love them. You can't go to church with them. You can't, you know what I'm saying, hold hands with them. You can't go on the playground with them. You can't shoot basketball with them. The psychopaths, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing that you can do to explain it except for to be the most racist like they claim that we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, to protect yourself, you know what I'm saying? Put yourself first, you know what I'm saying?
But you just refuse to change it, right?
All right. Anyway, so this was another one, I guess, from a minute ago. So a French representative is going on a tour through talking about in Africa, talking about how we take their minerals and sell it back to them for a higher
And
price.
you read the subtitles.
In the world. So we buy oil from Nigeria and we refine them and we sell it back to Nigeria. Yeah. So that's basically what we do.
They said we find the diamonds and gold and stuff and refine it and then sell it back to them. You know what I'm saying?
We are one of the largest oil refineries. Right? Because we have no natural resources whatsoever. You know, if somebody tells us, we even buy our water. We buy water from Malaysia. We buy crude water from Malaysia.
Now, if you don't understand what you're saying, we don't produce nothing of ourselves. We buy water from Malaysia. We get this from there. Like France and all of that stuff, they don't produce their own stuff. So without any black people in the world, you know what I'm saying, they are late. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did in the insane asylums, yeah. But yeah, they like without the resources, they have to get all of the other things, and their only source of wealth is extorting you. So the minute that you are on some black first stuff and not letting, you know what I'm saying, like you get the no disrespect, like we learn from like things like the Haitian Revolution and not be like, oh, well, white girls get a pass. No, they don't. You know what I'm saying? Especially them. You know what I'm saying? White children, no, we're not going to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have the courage to even be like, yo, they're children. Because, look, I'm just saying what the shyster said, right? Because, oh, they killed our babies. You know what I'm saying? You heard what he said about theirs, okay? Yeah, I mean, black men better think twice before they go in over some buildup.
We buy water from Malaysia. We buy crude water from Malaysia. We desalinate them, we purify it, and we sell it back.
Only the Sleep Number climate.
All right, so they refine it and they sell it back, but they would technically have not a damn thing, which is why they tried to go around the world and take people's stuff and institute all of these things. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to show you some side thing real quick. Let me see if it's going to come up. I hope it do. All right. I can pull up the article, but because it's gonna freeze up on me. Let me see. Maybe if I stop sharing it, it'll work. Yeah, I'm almost done anyway, but I just wanted to show you some side thing about South Africa. Because now that we understand about, making sure that people get out, you know what I'm saying? You don't let traders, but also there is certain issues that come in between all of it. And I'm curious about what y'all had to say about this, if I be able to pull it up. I don't know if it's gonna let me pull it up. But it should. All right, here we go. My bad. Yeah, nothing, you know what I'm saying? We've only learned, like Malcolm X said, who taught you to hate yourself? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And a white body and instead of complaining, right? Now, South Africa, they're trying to say, is it notorious? Now this article, I'm not gonna pull it up because it always freezes on the article. It's probably why it's freezing now, but it's saying South Africa has a growing xenophobia problem. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that has to do with them kicking Europeans out and stuff like that. But there are some I'm saying, like, issues between black people, tribalism that we still hold on to. But I do think each group should protect themselves, but like, where we are working together, you know what I'm saying, where we support each other, not attacking each other. So I don't know if y'all have any thoughts about the South Africa thing, you know what I'm saying, about how they are anti
Oh, I'm hoping to hear that all the foreigners are going.
The clothing, the songs, and their chants all communicate a readiness for battle. But here, about a recent stabbing.
Stuff. We don't do that.
You've seen members of Dudula attack people who are even street vendors.
We do lose emotions, but it's not that we're saying I promote violence and stuff. We don't do that. We don't promote violence at all. We don't.
Zandile Dabula is a founding member of Operation Dudula.
Is this the Dudula WhatsApp line?
Yeah.
How does it work?
They receive tip-offs about foreign nationals living in social housing reserved for South African citizens.
All right, so let me see. This might keep freezing on here. I don't know. I'm gonna see if it'll work. Cause I'm curious to what y'all think about that. You know what I'm saying? How they're saying we want to kind of gatekeep our thing here.
From across South Africa to attend today's conference.
Operation Dudula is going to make history today, guys. Operation Dudula. To hear that
all communicate a readiness for battle. But here, it's a war against migrants.
We know you. We are coming for you.
You've managed to gain
All right, so yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make it seem like, you know what I mean? Total separation period. And man, he said the small hats in as South Africa and Zambia implemented an apartheid policy, renamed themselves the Boers, and separated African peoples using false leaders like Mandela. Oh yeah, that's just how the thing works, you know what I'm saying? And anytime that, you know, that's what I mean about propaganda, you know, because that's what they do. Because they was like, oh, how they convinced the sister at the first video I showed was like, you know, how they convinced everybody that black people are the violent ones, even though they've done all of these things, because they use propaganda to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? And anytime that black people or anywhere in the world do anything to stop this French bitch who needs to buy water from other people or else they'll die. You know, like you'll die without water in 24 hours. They need to have the people who allow them to continue to export the resources in their place, you know. And really, it's simple. The ways to stop it is by working together and doing the things that you got to do. But, you know what I'm saying, we also suffer from tribal divisions that we also never really fully conquered. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So back to the other stuff, the other things. These are the last things that I had, you know what I'm saying? Because it goes back to what I was saying. But like I said, these are just things that I was showing that I wanted to clear out of my stuff. And I was like, why not show it before I delete it, you know?
Who falsely claimed that a male was, in fact, being harmful. We're going to go to the video, and then I will give you the background. Here it is.
No, it doesn't make me feel. Go to Uptown. I'm calling. Go to Uptown.
Don't call me back.
Go to Uptown now. You're making me uncomfortable. We'll call the cops.
Call them. Call them. Call them
Go to
right now.
Uptown. Stop
Call
it.
them.
No,
You
I
call
want
them.
this man to go to Uptown.
You call them.
It won't drive me home. No. No, there's nothing happening. Black man that punched me. Black man assaulted me.
So she called the police. I don't even know if dude was black or not.
Some black man assaulted me. I got out because he won't let me out. There's a black man that punched me. I was like,
First thing she was like, oh, it's a black man that hit me, a black man that did this, you know what I'm saying? But this is that Greek culture. But
please send the police. He's waiting. Please send the police for the black man that punched me. It is head to a Greek. There is a Corolla something here. It's something. It's a Prius. It's a Prius. A silver Prius. And it punched me. Silver.
all right, that's enough of this, John. So, okay, I'll tell these last ones.
If you're white and you're married to a black person married into your family, you recently had a mixed race grandbaby or a mixed race child, whatever. It's really important to understand that because we've been taught so much vile shit about black people, that just because you now have proximity to a black person or a mixed race person who's a member of your family who you love dearly, it doesn't mean that that automatically dissolved all of the biases and prejudices and really hateful things we've been taught about black people.
It doesn't mean that that automatically dissolved all of the biases and prejudices and really hateful things we've been taught.
Over that, had any power doesn't mean I can't inflict harm based on all the things I've been taught up until that point. So please unlearn and relearn.
Because white women have never had any power over men in their lives. Because obviously all the white men in their lives have always had all the power over them. So white women have whiteness over black men. And obviously to be in any sort of like control feels good, especially when you're used to never being in control. White women feel safe with black men not only because of the hypermasculinity that they believe black men exhibit, but because of the whiteness and power they hold over black men.
But because of the whiteness and power they hold over black men.
This is why also white women can still be racist and be with black men.
This is why also white women can still be racist and be with black men.
And be like conservative white women will be like married to a black man. And this is why white women love their black sons and hate their black daughters. Black sons give you access to the patriarchy. They give you power, whereas black daughters don't.
Like because of the scarcity. If you grow up as a white girl,
Yes.
and you get attention from black guys,
Yes.
in my experience, guys, that's how it's looked at.
Where are you from, Emily?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, that's awesome. So for you, black guys or white guys?
Black guys.
Okay, can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive. And I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin.
The only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin.
So that's the way for me to, make my legacy continue.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, so I'm a black female and I'm married to a white man.
Wonderful, and everybody should do it. Friends, it's worldly. Why is it so many black basketball stars, black football stars, black baseball stars want a white wife?
Freaking vampires.
Why?
I need human blood so I can come out in the daytime and not get freckles on my face.
Lord have mercy. It's another defiance of God's law. It is a worldly way. And then it creeps over into the message. Tell me what's the difference in preaching against bobbed hair, painted face, shorts, all this, that, and other, being worldly, and we let this worldly means come right in, and we're afraid to say one thing about it. And let me tell you right up front, any of you young people, you want to marry a black man, you girls, don't ask me to do it, because I will not.
I will not. I'm sorry, sisters, brothers, if you ask me to do it, I will not. All right, I'll become ordained just so I can not do it. I will not. Say that one more time, white boy, Neanderthal dude.
Don't ask me to do it, because I will not. I refuse. I cannot do it with a conscience toward God and look these quotes in the face. You white brothers, you find a black sister, you want to marry an African or whatever more, don't ask Brother Donnie. I'll quit church, suit yourself. I'd rather you quit than me get in trouble with God.
I'd rather you quit and stop listening, right, than me get in trouble with the ancestors. I'm just trying to lead you to the promised land, you know what I'm saying, and to save you, you know what I'm saying. Some of us is too old. Hopefully the younger people will realize the same thing happened over and over and over and over, you know what I'm saying, and nothing changes, right? And until you, I'm gonna just say like the Shyster said, right? Or they was like, oh, well, they're killing our babies. So what did they say to do when, oh, all right, that's all I'm saying, right? So for this last thing, if any of y'all want to come on here and talk about anything, you know what I'm saying, while that I showed, just let me know. I'll put the link in there, you know what I'm saying. If not, this is like, the last video. So I'll just let y'all go out like this, you know what I'm saying. With we was in church, we'd get a Negro spiritual, you know how we do in church,
Dude, what other songs they were singing? Y'all.
It does say that, especially the Denisovans or the Denisovans. I forget what they called them in the Bible. The whatever they called the Asians in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They was outlawed too, by the way. But that's neither here nor there.
Where a choir full of white people singing the slave spirituals. And it's like, granted, I don't know if it's better that they made the two black people the leads or worse, because these are slave songs. These are sacred. Why the fuck is it a choir full of white people singing the shit? You know, national thing. Like, hey, you know, because we're in the International Youth Choir or whatever, we're going to Europe to sing this song and raise awareness about, you know, the struggle, the plight that African Americans have been through in the United States. At least y'all could have did that. But y'all up here got these white folks rocking and swinging. God's going to trouble the water, dog. We were waiting in the water from you, bitch. Like, I am.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Okay. I'll put the link in there. He said he would like if Cassandra could join if she can for his comments. All right, for sure. All right, no, it's all good. All right, there goes the link in there. And while they come on, this was gonna be the last words anyway. So while they come on here, I'll give y'all, you know what I'm saying, the winners of the Negro Spiritual.
Coordinate work across teams with Asana.
The Negro Spiritual Contest.
Now, our third and final choir in the junior competition performing their inspirational song. It's Heath Mount School from Hertfordshire.
What dude said, I ain't seen not an ounce of melanin in there at all. All right, let me stop because some of y'all probably be like, oh, it's cool. Yo, what's going on, my brother Black Magus?
Yo, BB448 Black Liberation. Man,
my brother.
you know, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What was you saying? Go ahead.
Oh no, man, I was just gonna say, you know, I actually just had this this discussion with a brother, talking about the lack of manhood, man. When I look at all of these clips that you showed, right? You know what I'm reminded of is remember right after they passed the Stop Asian Hate bill or whatever, and I think it was in Cleveland, could have been Detroit, I'm not sure of the city, but remember that Vietnamese guy who shot the 9-year-old black child who was just riding his bike up and down the sidewalk? Do you remember that story? I believe you even shared it last year.
Yeah, I showed it.
So do you remember that father who was in front of the camera damn near crying and talking about, you know, having to call the police and stuff like that? You know, that's what I'm seeing with a lot of these clips that you showed, is that we are freely allowing others to label us as something that we are not. We're letting them literally whitewash our culture, our history, and absorb it within themselves, but then turn the dynamic around and say that we're the problem, as if we had the power dynamic or infrastructure to implement our own genocide. And granted, and this is why I wanted a sister on here, so she can give, you know, her opinion on this, because, you know, it is actually a two-part process, but I can only speak for the men. You know, I don't want to speak for the women. I don't like doing that kind of stuff. But, you know, we have to be stout and resolute on taking back our own names and to keep it simple. And, you know, there should be no one, especially a person of white skin, that can come around and say that black people are the most racist. and it's like, yo, dude, where do we have the power to instill racism? This is happening though because we're seeing as the power dynamic is shifting once you had the advent of Black Lives Matter. And let me rephrase that, not the advent of Black Lives Matter. I would see the recent actions of Black Lives Matter once the George Floyd case happened. You know, the white folk weren't afraid of Black Lives Matter anytime before the George Floyd protests. Once that happened, now you're seeing as Black people, and at this point, I'm starting to believe that these are agents and things that are just 100% scripted and staged. Where you have, and you even showed these type of videos, where you have individuals who literally do something wrong and then scream and cry bloody murder, and they get the white privilege treatment, and white people are seeing this and they're like, yo, how does this work? First off, you already know that they're feeling appalled by such action, because they're like, yo, this privilege is supposed to be reserved for us and us alone. But the second thing is that they're seeing that, oh wait, hold on, Black people have some kind of power structure. And again, where did this power structure come from? Because it is not our elected officials who pass these kind of things. It's not our elected officials, or selected, maybe I should say that. It's not our selected officials who, you know, make sure that there's laws in the books that protect us, that allow, you know, say a Black shoplifter to go into a store, steal some stuff, and walk clean the hell up on out of there. And then have the nerve to say, you get people are being racist against me because I can show you videos of white meth heads walking into CVS and Walgreens and any other drugstore and taking all of the methamphetamines off of the shelves, and y'all don't even do so much as to stop that person. And literally, that's the type of logic that we're seeing these people, these Black people who get these cameras put in front of their faces do. And we need to have brothers like and I can't remember his name right now, but you know, the brother who went to the Asian nail shop and told the sisters, yo, get the hell up on out of here, and he started busting out the windows with the bricks and stuff like that. Like, we need to start having this even when it comes to these scripted agents who are literally getting away with murder. Let me rephrase that. They're not getting away with murder, because I haven't seen not one case where a Black person has actually murdered somebody and gotten away with it. But they are doing crimes that they're not receiving any punishment for. And the media is literally placating to this stuff while it's enraging. And I don't care about it, you know, enraging other groups of people, but it does paint this narrative that allows them to say Black people are racist. You know, we have to have a manhood front on all lines. You know, racial tensions are not just you know, non-Blacks. You know, we also have racial tension within the Black community itself, and we got to start checking this stuff before we allow others to paint the narratives for us. What's your thoughts on that, brother?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Cassandra says she definitely agree with you. But that's what they do, you know what I'm saying, especially those who would be willing to take a check or whatever. That's been one of the main things. It's really acceptance more so than money, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's just like what we call a coon. I'll call a clone, you know what I'm saying? And there's always going to be those who always do that, you know what I'm saying, and are put there, and they keep them there so that they can maintain power. They use us as tools, you know what I'm saying? And I agree when people say use them as tools. The problem that I have is like sometimes even on an individual basis, because it's like sometimes we gotta like do analysis about what the cost is, but also, you know, we don't see them as tools. We like, oh, well, one hand washes the other. We're friends. We can read some. There is no negotiation with a psychopath. You know what I'm saying? And those who sell out and do all of these things, just like they do in African countries where they have they pay certain people and give them certain lifestyles to cause chaos and havoc, and they do the same thing here. But like what Ross said, all they could do is try to mimic, because that's what psychopaths do. Think about it. Like, they are on stage, a bunch of white kids talking about some wade in the water, you know what I'm saying, a song what is meant for, but they do all of these things because they get their rocks off from it, you know what I'm saying? And they're always going to use that, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think that we should incorporate it into our strategy about, you know what I'm saying, how we you know, understand going forward. There's always going to be a Sheriff David Clark that is ready to go in, you know what I'm saying? So we got to understand that. But what's going on, Cassandra?
Well, I'm trying to see what my boy wants. What's going on up here? I'm supposed to join. What's going on? What am I joining for?
Yeah.
I was reading the comments and he said he wanted me to join. I'm like, okay, here I am. What's up?
All right, yeah, go ahead, Black Vegas.
No, sister. I really just wanted you to give the feminine perspective on what I said. Really, you know, just there has to be accountability, of course, from the sisters. But I don't like speaking on what sisters should do. Only women should do that. I can give advice or anything like that, but I believe it is 100% the sisters' job
What's your
to speak up for
advice?
the sisters.
What's your advice? What do us sisters need to do? What's your advice?
Oh no, I mean, you know, I gave the male perspective on what needs to be on what needs to be done, but it also has to be the sisters that get sisters in line as well, you know, and to also be a part of that front line vanguard to protect the community from, you know, racial tensions from outside and from within as well, so that we don't have these charlatans continuing to disparage the image of who we are as a people. You know, I mean, how many more Real Housewives shows do we need with women really putting out a false image of what Black women really are?
You know what? I see that. I understand what you're saying, but you have to understand that people, grown women are grown folk are grown folk. You understand what I'm saying? I can show them how it's supposed to be done. And that's really what you do. You show them. You can't really tell a grown person what to do. We can't, because Black people, period, it's not women or men, it's Black people are going to do what they want to do. Plain and simple. Forecast has been talking, Bakari's been talking, I've been talking. People do what they want to do. I just have to be right now responsible for my children and my grandchildren. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel that if everybody does their part, it'll catch on. You're not going to get everybody. We know that. We're not going to get everybody. And that's okay. The ones that want to learn, they're going to learn. And the ones that don't, won't. And that's just what it is. We can hold you accountable, but guess what? You have to hold yourself accountable. You know what to do. I know what to do. But some women don't care. They don't care. So for me to just continue talking and talking and talking, I have other things to work on right now. I'm sorry. I don't even do a show anymore because I'm tired of talking. I got so much going on right now. I don't have time. I don't have time. And I'm going to share it with you guys, but I can't do it right now. But I just don't have time to sit up here and be on this. You know, I don't. I don't. I do my Reese's thing with him on Saturdays, and I'll do forecasts. But to me, because I'm tired of talking. You know how when your mom, you know, she just whooped your ass so much that she just got tired? You know what I'm saying? Or she was trying to tell you, fix your bed, do this, do that, and the other. And one day you just woke up and you started doing it, right? Okay. Hopefully they'll wake up one day. But right now, I'm tired of trying to tell grown folk what to do. I'm sorry. I don't have time for it right now. I don't. I've done my part. And so I'm going to get in Forecast's hands and Bakari's hands. You guys do what you do.
And so that's where the piece of advice comes from on my perspective, right? Is that, you know, I'm pretty sure those of us who do race work, we all get to that point where we feel it's not that we feel depleted, but we do feel like that sometimes, you know, the talking thing, yeah, it's good and all that, but
Right.
we get
We
tired
feel
of it.
depleted. We feel depleted. Let's say it. We feel depleted. Seriously, it's so much going on right now on every angle, everywhere I look, and it's getting so full that I'm about to bust. And
Hmm.
if I concentrate on it any, I'm just I just can't do it right now. I can't. I can't for
Hmm.
my mental health. Because I'm just saying, had it been me and my dog would have ran in somebody's yard and he'd have came at me, I'd have been ready. You feel what I'm saying? But you've been telling black folk how long to get your candy bars. And what do? They get the hell beat out of them over a dog walking in somebody else's yard. And you didn't have nothing on you? How many times we keep telling you, I don't give a damn if you walk into the trash to have something on you, right? But we've been telling them, don't walk by yourself, have a partner. What happens? They walk by themselves, no partners, they get took, or Elijah coming, he was out there, they gave him a shot with some whatever, and the police got off, paramedics. I ain't got to look, I'm done talking. I'm done. Do what you want to do. Grown folk have at it. That's how I feel right now. And maybe that's not a right way, but that's how I have to deal with it right now for me.
And so I don't think anybody can tell you the right way because we know that you're doing race work, right? I would just say when a few months ago, and maybe 2 months ago to be more
Mhm,
specific,
mhm,
I reached that point where I was just like, man, I'm just done. Like I was never trying to be a social media person in the first place, and I wanted to definitely branch out and reach out to people. I already know it's really going to be that 5% of us who are even
yeah.
going to listen to what I have to say, but I'm gonna do everything I possibly can to reach out to those who are not a part of this 5%,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
those are the ones who we are really fighting for, because they don't know,
Yeah.
and the awakening happens at random times for a lot of us. And
Mm-hmm.
as my elder told me, he said, I understand that it's really the lack of appreciation sometimes that you feel, no acknowledgement from people, and it can drain you and deplete you out. But you have to realize that the moment that you give up, we lose. And the reason why,
Mm.
again, is because we are a minority. We are a 5%. So if 1% out of the 5% just gets burnt out, now we're down to 4%. As Brother Bomani puts in one of his songs, "Dear Liberation," I believe it is. We're dying by the thousands, but we're fighting by the hundreds. Well, I
Mhm.
don't even think it's that now. I believe we're
Mm.
dying by the millions and fighting by the tens, you
Mhm.
know and it's a sad state of affairs that we are in, but it has to be us, this 5%, who keeps each other energized. And granted, again,
Mm.
it can get very bothersome that you're not getting those from outside of the 5%, but as long as we affirm each other, like, I think that's
Mhm.
a huge thing that we're even lacking within our community,
Mhm.
is the fact that first off, we already have indifferences about us that have our ideologies not aligned with one another. When most of us are working towards, black sovereignty, African sovereignty,
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it, but
Mhm.
so many see a different way of going by doing it that it's like, I see and hear what he's saying, but I can't work with that. And it's like,
Mhm.
no, let's all fight this on our own battlefronts the way that we see fit, as long as it aligns with the total goal of us reaching that sovereignty. And let's affirm one
Mhm.
another. Us
Yeah.
affirming one another
Yeah.
is us actually spreading and sharing that love with
Yeah.
one another, because I don't like to hear you saying that you burnt out and depleted or anything like that, because if you say that, then that lets me know that maybe I myself, and this is just me personally, I take a lot of things personally, especially when it comes
Mhm.
to those who do race work. I take it personally when I hear that somebody is burnt and tired out, and I never thought that I would get to that point myself. And then I got to it, and it was
Yeah.
like, damn, what do I
Yeah.
do? Who can I go to? Who can I
No
talk to?
one. You can't, because right now people, I think we're all tired. I mean, thank
Mhm.
God for forecast. He's moving. He's not big. I mean, he's hey, do it. I'm proud of him. But
As
right
a
now, go ahead, forecast.
no, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off.
I,
Go ahead.
right now, I'm gonna take a back seat and I'm gonna work in the back. You know what I'm saying? I'm still doing what I need to do, but it's housing and other things that I'm working on in the back, because that's my main concern right now. When I see a brother that come out of jail or prison and don't have a place to live, that's where I concentrate right now. Because a lot of these brothers going back to jail, that's my focus. I've been talking to these women. Look, y'all do what the hell you want to do. These grown folk, I'll go and talk to the babies, yeah, because they're still ready and willing to listen. But some of these grown folk, they just don't care. And they got their kids, and the apple don't fall too far from the tree. So if I'm telling your daughter and I'm teaching and talking to your daughter, but you showing her something different with your titties hanging out, your ass, I ain't got, who's she gonna listen to, me? Or the person that she's with 20, she's living with that person. And this is what she sees every day. So she gonna look at me and this is my mom. So of course, I'm gonna follow my mom. Okay, go ahead. Now, the ones that come to me that want it, that's different. Oh, I got you. But if I'm not going volunteer anymore, I'm done. I'm not, because they don't care. We've been telling people for so long what to and not what to think, but we've been showing them. Let's show them more. Maybe if I show you more so than tell you, that you'll catch it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at right now. Let me just show you. I can show you better than I can tell you.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that's where I need to be right now. I don't know. I'm just scared.
No, you're absolutely right. I agree with see, both of y'all make good points, and I agree with both of y'all. With consider it's true. Like we've had the same conversations like over and over for generations at a time. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, because like brothers like MD2 was like, all right, well, we say this, we get it. You know what I'm saying? Now what? And that's exactly right. That's an accurate thing, and it is better because like I can't just tell somebody to do something if I don't, do it myself. That's why I try to get everything in order in my personal life and everything, and then like even though I already have like tried to create, and then I can like start to try to do the things that I so that's absolutely right. And that's why I mess with Considers, because she like she don't just talk about it. She got the Realm in the Bush organization where she actually put in work to help people, but I also agree with Black Megas too, because like we always end this, and for me, like even this, I think this is important because it's not even like the older people. Like it's like I like when people comment like, yo, I listen to this with my children. That's why I try not to cuss and all of this other stuff, and try to watch my language, because I wish that somebody or something was out there teaching me about who Ida B. Wells was when I was younger. I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't know, like, because my parents wasn't necessarily on it, and they was just caught. They the 85%, you know what I'm saying? So most of us have 85% parents, and if it ain't somebody like having like actual information, just like they have the news all the time, it's important to have your own propaganda, like, to understand, because we keep getting lost in translation every generation because we lose the teachings, like we get tired, and then we like, well, the young people ain't listening to us, but something is getting lost in translation. That's why it's important. And then when I get tired, it's going to be another me that come up that's not tired. Like that's how our elders shouldn't have to put in work. We should listen to them for the information and wisdom. But the situation that we in is like our elders, men, women, children, babies, we all on the front lines, in whatever aspect. And it is important to have each of your family. You start with your family. But my thing is like no matter what happens, like my family still could be at danger, like, or we still in their system to where we got to use their money and do all of these things and like go to their jobs and send our kids to or our children to their schools and stuff like that to get like all of that stuff is like, they take our taxes and do whatever they want. Like, to me, I'm like, yo, that is almost like slavery. It got to be like destroyed. And I think like y'all shouldn't give me the button if we ever get a nuclear whatever. Don't give me the key to the button, because sometimes I feel like we got to push it, but that's the only way, what I'm saying, because we never going to escape it if we don't, But yeah, go ahead, Black Megas.
Yeah, so, what I was gonna say is, this is why, and I know a lot of us don't believe that there's any more elders, but we do have them. And Dr. Francis Cress Wilson She got tired, but she kept going. Um, um, Amanda, Mama Yaba Rudy, Dr. Patricia Newton, um, Dr. Khaled Abdul Muhammad, Malcolm X. You know, we could talk race workers all day, and we have the images of those of us who didn't give up, who didn't take. Don't get me wrong, they took a break. They took a break. We all got to take a break for our own mental fortitude. But the one thing that they had is something that we don't have. A lot of us don't have, and that is that eldership. The people who are actually putting together the type of programs that help invigorate us. You know, the Barudis do it with just about every month. They're putting on, you know, mental health things for warriors. You know, Baba Walima Barudi, he does it for the men and his wife, his complement. Mama Yabarudi does it for the sisters. You know, she does sister circles, and he does men circles. And there's more than just them. You know, there, even for when it comes to relationships. You know, on Facebook, there's the Black Love um, University, I believe it's called. We have a lot of things that are out there that a lot of us just don't know about, and it's not until we reach that breaking point that we're like, I just wish I had some kind of help. Um, and you know, this is something that I've recently, again, like I said, you know, just 2 months ago, the way that I felt, and it actually takes a toll on your personal life, which is another reason why a lot of us like to kind of like back away from that stuff, because once we see it taking a toll on our personal life, taking a toll on our family, on our children, especially if you have young children, then you really start thinking like, yo, I got to remove these stress factors from out of my life. And it's not that things are stress factors, it's just that you have a lot on your plate. And again, like I said, if you have nobody affirming you or nobody giving you that guidance on how to juggle these things, you know, when we got elders who have been doing this for 40 plus years, who, you know, the only thing that they've done was taking a small break, or took a back step to let somebody else take charge while they continue to do the race work, but just in a different dynamic. You know, they still depend on each other. They still depend on each other's programs and stuff. You know, there's so many times I've gotten on so many of these discussions and these healing circles, and you would be surprised to see the elders who actually join these things, because we all have to be reinvigorated in some form and fashion. You know, and this is not me, you know, trying to plead or berate Sister Considera, but I would definitely suggest that if you don't have one of those type of circles or anything like that, like, you know, find it. Like I said, you know, if you get in touch with the Barudis, you know, Mama Yabarudi does it for the ladies. You know, Brother Forecast, you know, I've done what I could to try to get him at least his name, and get him introduced to some elders as well, because I want my brother to become that historian that I know he has the talent to be. But I feel like that it still has to have at least a little bit of eldership in there, because it's going to get to the point where he's going to feel that way, where he's going to feel burnt out, and when he doesn't want to, you know, continue to do the lives. In my opinion, Forecast does too many lives, to be honest. But there's always something in the news, and so that stuff is always taking a toll and is always draining you, especially when you're showing black degradation, when you're showing black genocide like that. Those things take a mental toll and a spiritual toll on you, and you have to be able to go back, heal, rejuvenate, rest up, even if it's for a week or a month or something like that. Like, we have to be able to do those kind of things.
I feel you, brother, but they never rest, bro. If you take a day off, it's gonna be fucking 1,000. But I'll go ahead, consider.
I totally understand and I totally get it, and I do appreciate that. But my thing is, right now, I am doing so much, and like I said, my focus right now is pretty much getting housing. That is where I'm focused, and I'm almost there, because I want to retire in another year and a half, and I'll be able to have more time to do what I need to do. I'm trying to make money while I sleep so that I can help more people. You understand what I'm saying? I'll have time to help more people, because when I retire, it's gonna be on and popping. But I gotta put some stuff in place now, And that's what I'm doing right now, so that I'll be able to help more.
I highly understand that one, sister, because we can't do nothing if we ain't got no finances.
Exactly. And I just really feel that it's important, and I know it's important, and I'm gonna get back in there. I know it, but it's just not right now. I'm doing, Saturday I do Brother Maurice's show, and then I help forecast out. So, I'll be back in there, and I understand, and I do appreciate that. But right now, it's just my focus is elsewhere right now. It's a lot of us out here doing what we need to do. So if I'm not there, okay, it's okay. Forecast is there. You're there. Brother Maurice is there. So, it's okay. One person duck it out for a minute. I'll be back. I'll be back. Because, that is what I do, and I know the gift, and I know who I'm here for. And I do it in other places. I may not be out in the open, but everyone that comes to me personally that needs that help, it's on and pop. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's all good though.
Yeah. And and both of y'all are saying like all facts, and this is a great conversation. And yeah, Ra, if you could give your strength and willingness to fight for what's right, and there's many ways to do that. And I think that we have to do it always. I know that I probably need to be sleeping more because that's the time that I use for that. But my thing is like, and even before, like, I guess a lot of people like, because I will stop doing it for like a while, what I'm saying? I guess Bakari remember, but even in every aspect of our lives, it affects us so much that we can't even take, like, I know you have to take a day off, but when you do, you come back to realize like, yo, they have done a million more things, what I'm saying? So like, that's why it's hard, what I'm saying? And I think that it's not just me, because it's bigger than me. I couldn't do this, what I'm saying? Like, it's like you standing on the shoulders of all the ancestors who have done. Because think about it, I didn't do half the stuff that I'd be. Well, she had to get on trains and whatever and all that stuff just to go down there to do the stuff that I can do from my computer. So like, how can I be like, I'm doing too much when she did 1,000 times more than me? You know what I'm saying? And she did every angle. She talked about arming yourself, protecting yourself. She put the news out there. She encouraged Black people, but she also tried to reach out to the, what I'm saying, Europeans. But I understand that doesn't work, what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. You just have to like, you cannot stop and understand that your enemy always have different. Your enemy is always like planning. They have think tanks, but they can work as an organization. But like you said, like we is like the 5%. So like to win when you like have less, like they be like in society you got to be 10 times better than them. But imagine if we decided to be 10 times better for our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like the most we could do is try to encourage our children, because it's hard with adults. So encourage our children to do the right things. I could show Cassandra and what she doing, and that put me onto a whole nother lane of teaching, because I think that that's important too, Cassandra, like showing, because you better at me than about showing how to do business. I can like show it, but you can like talk about it better. Or like Megas has things that he could talk about certain things better. I think that's important to like building Black wealth, like you was talking about, more positive things. And I know I need to do that, but I be tripping sometimes. It's just me. So
that's the advantage that our enemy has against us. When we think about it in the form of AI or IT, no, I'm sorry, IT. They've changed all their infrastructures into an AI self-run project. We're seeing that all of the machinations that they've created to subjugate us, it's on autopilot now. I just seen, oh man, I hate seeing Black death, especially when it's Black on Black. I understand it's real and it's going on. It doesn't make it any easier to look at. But it's watched a video of a house party over in Chicago. So many of our brothers and sisters together just having a good time, and then all of a sudden it's fa, and now you got bodies slumped over. People can't have a good time. We're so full of our people are so full of self-hatred. Those who are of the masses, that even that can demoralize you, because it's like, yo, what am I talking to a bunch of N-words for? Like all you want to do is drink, smoke, and kill each other. But a lot of us really, a lot of them really don't. You know, it's and what's the word that I'm looking for? You know, for the men, it's high emotionalism. You know, and can't get back to rational thinking. And for the women, it's hyper masculinity. Want to take charge of every situation and boss the men around. You know, which makes me think about the incident up in New York a few years back where um you know, sister was buying something from a store. She reached the money to the cashier guy. You know, sometimes hands touch. You know, if she really wanted to make sure the guy didn't touch her hand, and she could have just laid the money on the dang on counter, but she handed him the money. You know, he slightly touched her finger. She talking all of this hoopla about the guys trying to take her, and that he's looking at her child and everything like that over a bag of chips. And so she calls her boyfriend. He comes over because he just got fired up by her. Because of course you already know she's saying you got to do this, you got to do that. You know, it makes you think of the John Q scenario where, you know, you got to do something, like just do something. And it's like, okay, fuck it. My girl told me, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. My girl told me to go do something. You know, I gotta go save her because I don't want to hear her mouth. And then he goes there to go put his hands on this guy, and this guy murders him. And so now this brother is dead over a dollar bag of chips, man. Like we gotta calm ourselves down. We gotta understand that our people are full of so much menticide, and ourselves included. None of us are perfect, but we are supposed to be striving towards that. But somehow, even when you tell people, again, just due to this programming, you say that you're working to be perfect. Ain't no such thing as perfect. You know, people hate on you just for saying something like that. And so, you know, that's why I just say meiotic. You know, I'm bringing back balance. I have to be a balanced individual. You won't get me to get off my square to see things your way, because your way is the indoctrinated way. Psychology Today back in 2018 posted a story. Well, I'm sorry, a research report talking about, and you can find this yourselves, family. Just, you know, go into your search engine and just type why people ignore facts, and you should see the Psychology Today article that's talking about the fact that people just don't care what the facts are. They just want to be confirmed. You know, they have their own beliefs, and they're going to go seek the information which confirms their beliefs, regardless of the fact if that stuff is true or not. They just want to be affirmed. And because of that, that's showing you that it is a brainwashed mentality that so many have. You know, that's why I call it MK Ultra. When you sit in front of these televisions all day, in front of the radio all day, in front of social media all day, you're being MK Ultra'd, and you don't even understand this stuff. And so, again, just back to, you know, what I really want to started this conversation off with that the fortitude to continue to go on and do it. You know, that's why it has to take a line. You think about it football wise. You know, everybody has their position to play, and we have to have some kind of formation here that even substitutes can be put in for when one of us do need to take a break, take a rest. You know, that's why we have to organize. We have to be within organizations. We have to start our own organizations. The front line is wherever you are at. The front line ain't, you know, where, you know, granted, it was Irritated Genie and Straight Black Pride movement that invigorated me and fired me up, but they're doing their fight in DC. It's not my job to go move to DC to join with them. Granted, if I didn't have the skills and wherewithal to be a leader, then I should do that, even if it's just to get tutelage to then move back over here to Colorado or whatever. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. But the front line is wherever you're at. You know, when you think about the Black Panthers, you know, you had people from around the country leaving to go link up with the Black Panthers in where they were at, and then they went back to their original cities to start their own Black Panther chapters. You know, if we're not organizing, then that is also another big issue as to why we wear thin so fast, because we're starting our own organizations and we have to do everything by ourselves, and that by itself becomes tiresome, especially when, like Cassandra said, you know, you gotta have your finances. If you don't have your finances, you can't fund no movement, no organization. You can't do anything to save black people if you don't have the funds to put forth the effort to do such.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with it. That's why I had to get it together, you know what I'm saying, on another level. But consider you wanted to say something?
Oh no, I'm just listening. I'm enjoying what you guys are saying.
All right. Well, yeah. So, you know what? We close out. Yo, Black Megas, whenever like people like that come and like the first riflemen or something, this is gonna be the thing that well, of course I got the commercial on it, but this is, you know what I'm saying, my response to all of that. Absolutely.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny.
What in the hell is going on here? What in the world? He need to go elect himself to the nursing home. What the hell?
Hey, look, consider this my response every time a black person say something. A first rifleman come on here. This is what I'm gonna say.
Oh my God! What in the world?
Did you hear the question, Senator? Run for re-election in 2026?
Did you hear the question? Yeah.
What is that? Is that Biden's brother? Did you see when Trump the other day he was marking Biden when he turned around and walked toward the curtain and didn't know which how to get off the stage? I'm like, these fools crazy. Trump ain't that much younger than Biden, okay? He's up there trying to mark Biden. I was like, oh my God, these people are crazy.
Oh.
Nah, but you know what that's the sign of? That's the sign of somebody who never got a break. And now the body is shutting down on live television. So yeah, it is important to get those breaks.
And we can tell, huh?
See, he never take no breaks, pro black. Y'all, that's how y'all gonna make me if we stay in this game too long. You will be like that, you know what I'm saying? Like first rifleman come on, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna be looking like over here on some of the stuff that y'all be saying. But anyway, Black Vegas, you want to say any last words, my brother?
Yeah. I can't remember if it was Oni or somebody else within y'all group, but I know I listened to one of the programs where somebody talked about a SWOT analysis. I think that's something that, well, from the IT perspective, we call it a risk assessment. You assess possible risks that can come your way, and you line them up in terms of, what risk do you have to accept, what risk do you have to mitigate, and what risk do you have to, resolve. And we have to actually start doing those kind of things because we're seeing too many things that are COINTELPRO. And because so many of us don't understand what COINTELPRO is and how it still works and operates in current day and age, we fail to see that there are literal on the book government documents saying that it has to stop us from rising. We have to re-educate the people and let them understand that it's you're gonna have your fun, you're gonna have your good times, you're gonna have your down times, but don't be afraid of stepping into this square of doing work for your people, for the love of your people. If you don't have no love for yourself, you're not gonna love your people. So I'll just end with that. Of course, y'all can check me out, Black Family Vanguard, on Instagram. I'm working on a new project with a brother. We're doing a bunch of new podcasts and stuff like that to upload them to our uncensored website, free speech platform. I do have a Telegram channel just for this as well. If you're interested in joining it, just hit me up on Black Family Vanguard on Instagram, and I'll send you the information on joining it so you can hear the information yourself. With the last program we really did was what I call a G check to the Black male community. With that, I say Hotep.
Facts, and I agree with that, my brother. I agree with that. Cedric, you got anything to say?
Oh man, I just appreciate this opportunity to come and just to speak and just trying to just let people know that it's not always, we're not always giving up. Sometimes we just step to the back a little bit and try to do some other, go about it another way, I guess. That's what I'm saying. You know, but I appreciate you guys and for all of the work that both you guys are doing. It's not easy, but we're gonna keep, you know, we're gonna hang in there and keep doing what we have to do, you know. And eventually somebody, you know, if we touch one, you know, even if we touch one, it's still one a day is what, 365 a year.
No homo.
Or one a week. We'll take one a week, you know, but we got, you know, you do what you can and you just keep improving and you go about it a different way. If this way it didn't work, it just sounds, it's just crazy to me if I keep trying to do it one way and not do it another way. If I see one way isn't working, okay, step back and regroup. It just makes no sense to keep doing it the same way if it's not working. Let's try something else. And that's what I believe in, you know. But thank you. I appreciate your forecast, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, and y'all support Rome in the Bush, you know what I'm saying? Cause she, and I agree with that 100%, you know. Stop banging your head across the wall doing the same thing over and over because it's important, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that's why you have to take time to get yourself together, get whatever you're doing together, you know what I'm saying? And like it's people doing different things. Not everybody is going to be we all have to be in different lanes. Like I'm not a grocer, I'm not a farmer, but maybe I can connect them, you know what I'm saying? Like we all have our individual roles to play. And some of the most important things is being like the parents to teach our children how to pick the right partners and all of that stuff, you know, like all of that is the most important thing, being the most present in this, because, you know, like it's just me. I just, you know, you know, I guess I got nothing, you know, whatever. So I got time, you know what I'm saying? But all of this stuff that I learned from, you know what I'm saying? And I try to do it as many ways that I can, but I also got to remember about spreading yourself too thin, because if you get caught up in too many things, you don't really get anything completely done. So like you got to, even if you got different tasks, take it one at a time, you know what I'm saying? And the children, they got the most opportunities to make the least amount of mistakes if we teach them the correct way. So that's why we got to learn how to do that, you know? So y'all support Considra Realm in the Bush, you know what I'm saying? Y'all support Black Magus, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate all of y'all for listening. Shouts out to all of y'all. Raw, highly favorite. My brother Anthony was in here. Shouts out to RBG. Shouts out to Matron. Shouts out to Bakari, Erica. Shouts out to all of y'all. Definitely you, Raw. And I'm gonna let John Henry Clark have the last words, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So
it was a period of industrialization in the United States. This is the period of the Vanderbilt, the rise of the Vanderbilts, the Harrimans, the railroad people, the Rockefellers, and the Carnegie, the steel people, Andrew Mellon and Carnegie. Now, these men were rich thugs. Make no mistake about it, they were thugs. But these thugs now wanted respectability. And this white philanthropy, now they've been told that you get a better press by giving to the Negro. So they discovered us at a time when none of us had any big money to give to endow anything. We had already built the independent black church and the large institutions. We have built more independent institutions than any African people living outside of Africa, not because we are more industrial, and not because we've got more money, and not because we've got more brains, but because the kind of thugs white thugs control the United States deprived us of so much, either we had to build it ourselves or do without it altogether. And so the church could not be just a church. The church was a community center. Part of the day, the church was the school. And occasionally in trouble, the church was the hiding place. And the church played a major role in the physical protection of Black people, because the one person that they would partly listen to was the Black minister. All right, now, we're approaching this period now when white philanthropy want to know what to do with us. Bishop Turner has not only arose, but Bishop Turner is on the warpath.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. Y'all can listen to that whole speech. She was going in that whole speech. But yeah, so thank you again, Considerate. Thank you, my brother Black Magus. Shouts out to all of y'all. Thank you, Raw. Thank you, Highly Favorite. I appreciate y'all. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.
Peace.